Let's go to our next caller from the 760 area code. Caller from 760. Who's this? What's on your mind?
Good morning, David and crew. This is Tyler calling from San Diego. How are you today?
Good. Go ahead, Tyler.
So, David, we spoke about a month ago, and I asked about the general population not accepting the outcome of the upcoming midterm elections.
Yep.
And I've done a little bit more thinking about that, and so I'm just concerned with the state of society overall. Like, I'm having trouble visualizing or understanding how we're all somehow going to have this kumbaya, let's be friends and Americans and neighbors again kind of moment. Like, I just don't see, like, I'm concerned not about November 6th. I'm concerned about November 7th, if that makes any sense.
Listen, there is not going to be a kumbaya moment, period, in American politics unless something extraordinarily drastic changes. And I almost hate to even enumerate what those drastic things are. So, like, to give a kind of more, not outlandish example, but at least one that's a little bit more in the distance maybe, I have hypothesized that if intelligent life is found elsewhere in the universe, that would hopefully have like a huge uniting influence on American politics and even on geopolitics, relationships between countries. Because once you realize that we're not alone in the universe, one of the key questions of the existence of life on Earth is, are we alone in the universe? I would hope that once you realize we're not alone in the universe, that all of a sudden the political disagreements that we engage in on a day-to-day basis would become very obviously trivialized, and we would realize, what the hell are we doing? This is a real problem. That one is sort of, it's not super likely it's going to happen soon. Unfortunately, the other things that I think would unite the United States politically are also not good things. Like, for example, if, I hesitate to even say this, and Pat is looking scared, but if the United States were to be bombed or attacked militarily in a serious way, I believe that that would have a significant uniting effect on the political spectrum of the United States. Now, would we solve any problems, or would we just create a whole bunch of new ones in our response to whoever attacks us, which of course I hope doesn't happen? I don't know, but I feel like at this point, the polarization is such, Tyler, that it would take an unprecedented event to kind of take down some of that polarization.
Sure, and I absolutely agree with that, and that's kind of where I'm looking at this from a 10,000-foot point of view. Just even after, a decade in the Army and having spent time in failed states, I really feel like that's the direction we're unfortunately headed here.
Yeah. It's
Thank
sad
you for
reality.
taking my
Tyler,
call. I
thank you.
appreciate it.
Appreciate the call. Great to hear from you. Did you want to add something?
After 9/11, we were perhaps most united as a country. George
Yes.
W. Bush had a 91% approval rating.
Was it that high? I thought it was
And
84.
Americans seem to get along well with one another, but the downside to that is that we rushed into war, we passed
the wrong
Patriot
country.
Act, and yeah, it's not all fun and games.
No, it's not. So that's kind of a great example of exactly what I'm saying. Glad you brought that up.